And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. Always a big day of shows coming up, too. And of course, TGIF. That's a good thing. Tomorrow is Friday, too. Here, again, presenting our sponsors out there, too. The CadenGordonShow.com, our friends at Bangtail Whiskey. And of course, out there, too, Jewelry by Tommy and Lady TLC's travel agency made it possible for us to be at CRS. We will be at CMA Fest coming up here in June, just in a matter of a few months there and a few days to count down. And of course, out there with KKTC True Country 99.9 and our friends at HighTideCountry.net. Well, I tell you, I just love these quick turnarounds because the great people you meet in Music City always come back to contact you to get on this show here. And she's done that and then more. This new single, I love it so much. Hold on, honey. Kayley Bishop. She's going to hold on right here for this interview here with us. What's up?
Oh, man. My brain is a little fried from doing many mental acrobatics, but I'm doing so good.
Well, it's good to see you, and thanks for coming out for all the great money we raised for Toby Keith. It was good to see you there, too, at the fundraiser there at the Wild Beaver on March the 1st, and just appreciate you guys coming out and tell us about all those great memories of Toby Keith. What a show that was. That was crazy.
Man, yeah.
I mean, just it was crazy to hear. I just couldn't hear myself thinking there. It was so much stuff going on. It was so much loud noise, and it was just like a very proud moment we're happy with, too. So tell me about this. The song comes out. I love it. The audience loved it out there this morning on KKTC. We played it. I thought it was just a smash for a song. This one is very special to you. Tell us all about this, how Hold On Honey got started. And, man, this is just a terrific song. It really is.
Yeah, this was definitely heaven sent. And, sometimes as a songwriter, you strike gold when it happens quick and you cry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I just cried on that stoop when I wrote the song. I wrote it in 30 minutes and I wrote it about it was a letter to my younger self, essentially. And the person I was when I met and married my ex-husband. And I mean, that girl, she had so much potential, but she didn't know how to access it.
Mm-hmm.
And it took going through a really, really hard thing to understand how to tap into that potential. And it's kind of remarkable who I am today. Mm-hmm. And I just would not be who I am if I hadn't gone through suffering. And I think that's a testimony for a lot of people. You don't really grow character-wise from a place of comfort. You have to get uncomfortable, and while you're kind of in the valley, when you're in the lows, that's when you start to find the good stuff. Like you find flowers in the valley, but you also find how to you learn your lessons there, and gosh, my greatest achievements and greatest level ups came from struggling in the valley.
Mm-hmm. And being down. And that's the thing. They say you're right. You learn more through the failures than you do the successes in life. And the failures make you a better individual, a better person for what you have to go through to get to where you want to end up, to see the light at the end of that tunnel too, as well. I was talking to you about this before the show, this women empowerment or girl power female movement, which is crazy so much right now, because I love it, because I feel like I know I do this. I interview more female artists here on this program compared to any other thing that I do. It's just something that we fell into. I love it because there's so much great talent. I mean, Ashley McBride, Carly Pierce, Lainey, Megan Maroney, yourself. I mean, it's just, the town is full of superior women speaking their minds, singing their songs. Give me your thoughts on this particular movement and this girl power, women empowerment movement.
My whole thing is I just want to hear good music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's male or female. There's a lot of crappy male music. There's a lot of crappy female music. And that's the thing. It's I'm behind authentic artists. I'm behind people that are telling their stories, that are walking the walk and using their gift to illuminate the underdog. Those are the people I want to hear. I want to hear smart music, smart lyric. I want to hear strong instrumentals. And so, not to diminish the female power, but I'm just looking for power.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a good sound. And, I was talking to some females the other day. It was just me and 3 other women on stage. We were like the token female round in this writer's night. And I just was like, man, they have to talk about it. You have to talk about female empowerment, but why can't you just talk about empowerment and sprinkle the females with the males. I don't understand why there's segregation of it, I guess,
Hmm.
because good music is good music. A powerful performance is a powerful performance, no matter if you're male or female.
Yeah.
And and so I don't know. I know that's not really answering your question, and it's not
Hmm.
to diminish the power of Lainey and Megan and all those people, but they're successful because they have authenticity.
Yeah.
Mean, I saw Megan on stage a while ago, and I was like, man, she's got it. She's got the it factor.
Hmm.
And there are a lot of females that don't. There are a lot of males that don't. You know?
Just yeah, and I see what you're saying too. It's kind of that double-edged sword, but then again, it's like if it's good music, if it's something you can relate to, if it's authentic, people are gonna flock to it, and that's the beauty of this industry too. I love it. It really is
Yeah. So
so
that's
much.
kind of my take on
Well,
it.
I
Like,
love your take. It's good. I mean, I love different viewpoints here on the show, man. I kind of like, hey, I'll watch The View too. I love The View. There's nothing wrong with that on television or something, or watching other shows to get other viewpoints. That's how I kind of just do a little bit of the carbon copy, but then also differentiate because I love it. Man, it's like music is variety is a spice of life, and that's what makes this industry so much fun. Is you never know who you're going to cross paths with, and you've done a lot of these things. You know, Bluebird, and I've seen you. You've talked to me when I was there a few weeks ago. The writers' rounds and stepping on stage. I mean, you've got just that authentic voice, and you tell it like it is, and that's what I love about you because I've really felt your authenticity, and I've known you now for at least what 2-3 years. We've been doing this show, and it's just to see your journey go to where you want to go. Just congratulations on everything that you've been able to accomplish. And this song is really just that crux of just getting ready to happen for the next wave of what you got coming. So tell me more about 2024. Obviously, this song released, it's out there, people can flock to it. What else are you looking forward to as we get into this next quarter and into the summer?
you know, every day I get a call with something crazy on my horizon. And it's such a rich life when you finally start stepping out of fear. Like when you
Hmm.
don't let fear rule your decision making. And because you know, I've had a lot of mindset changes recently, and one of those mindset changes is going for no and not being afraid to hear the word no. I was afraid to ask for what I wanted because I was afraid of rejection.
Yeah.
Or, oh, what are they going to think of me if I ask this? Like, oh, I don't want to appear needy. And the thing is when you think of the mountain of success, it's paved with yes and no. So it's in
Hmm.
my best interest to get as many no's as I possibly can. And that really set me on a trajectory just in the last few months when I started implementing this concept and started asking big questions, big
Hmm.
favors. And it's completely broken wide open my landscape for what I'm able to touch just in 2 months.
Hmm.
And so, what's next in 2024? I'm going to release the rest of my record, and I'm going to ask big questions, and I'm going to knock on big doors, and I'm not going to care what man thinks of me. I'm just going to go and do it.
I love the philosophy. Yes, we think a lot alike between myself and Miss Bishop out there too. Hold on, honey. The current single came out March 8th. The week we got back there, we actually took off last week too, and I was listening to it a little bit on vacation there too. Here on the backstage pass. A good time to play it right now. Let's just go ahead and do that. Right?
Oh, okay.
Let's do it. I mean, a
Let's,
segue there.
let's see here. Give you some glimpse. I got a brand new guitar here.
All right.
A
Got a
friend of mine got me this. My
ooh,
nickname is Little Dove, and they got me a Dove Pro is what it is,
ooh.
but they left it in my dressing room at my Third and Lindsley show, and I was like, "Who does that? Who leaves you a guitar?"
Yeah. I love it
Just
too.
remark.
Speaking, I got a guitar question coming up here in a little bit for one of my listeners over in England too, by the way, too. So he's got some cool stuff there too. So after you do this performance, he's got a more of a question about that guitar there too. My buddy David there too. So definitely take it away. It is all yours. And what a song! Here we go.
I'll give you an abridged version here.
Here we go.
You did everything right, but you got it all wrong, 'cause you loved somebody who came on strong and seemed to be everything Jesus had for you. And I know it's not fair, and I know it's been hard, 'cause you've always been a good girl, and now you got a broken heart. But let me tell you the best part. You're gonna be singing hallelujah if you can hold on and give it some time. I promise you now what's coming to you is who you wanted to be your whole life. 'cause you can't grow without the suffering. You can't be purified without the heat. So hold on, honey. You're about to get everything you dream. Hold on, honey. Hold on, honey. Hold on, honey. Yeah, yeah. I know it don't make sense 'cause you're still in deep. Can't see the way out of this messy thing that you're in. But the light is coming. You're gonna be singing hallelujah. If you can hold on and give it some time, I promise you now what's coming to you is who you wanted to be your whole life. 'Cause you can't grow without the suffering. You can't be purified without the heat. So hold on, honey. You're about to get everything you dream. Hold on, honey. Hold on, honey. Hold on, honey. Yes. Oh, come on and on. Hold on, honey. Yeah. Hold on, honey. Hold on, honey. You're about to get everything you dreamed. If you hold on, honey.
And this is the Kayley Bishop Hour, brought to you by here on the Backstage Pass. Love that. So good to hear you sing the rest of the time and not even have me ask questions. Just have the audience take over and ask questions. Hell, host the show if you want to do that too as well. We'll talk about that. And, of course, the connection with Matt Jordan coming up here in a few minutes too. But I'm going to go to England over there too because you answered part of this question, but may not have gotten to it all. So David says, hi, Kayley. Watching from Cumbria in England. Like your guitar. Tell me more about it. Well, you mentioned the dressing room story too as well, but That's a beautiful guitar.
Well, thank you. And, it's funny because my name was replaced on the headstock. You can see Bishop on there.
Mm-hmm. I like
that.
They
put Bishop on there and they put my nickname Little Dove. And but this is actually an Epiphone Dove Pro and just customized and personalized. And it's just really pretty. It's the same pick guard as what you would see for like a Gibson Dove. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought it was at first. And I was like, whoa. But She's got a lot of boom. Mm-hmm. One of my fans was like, can we name her Myrtle? And I was like, think about that.
I love that. The naming of guitars. And that's the cool thing about it is instruments become so just tight, personal. And one of those things you can't, like you said, put it down because that's your baby. I mean, that's the thing that makes the thing tick and go. And I love that too, to have that personal connection with the instrument and a special story. I love David when he always asks that question out there too. What I got to ask now is if you want to buy Kayley some jewelry, because I got to take a time out for that too as well. But if you do, or myself too as well, didn't get it from our friends at Jewelry by Tommy, your spouse, friend, family member, me, Kayley, whoever's out there too, you want to buy the jewelry for, we're not going to turn it down. I mean, I've got a wife to give it to too as well. And then other people we can find somebody to give it to. Jewelry by Tommy's got you covered. Email our friends at Burley System at yahoo.com. Tommy Burley will take care of you today to order. BUEHRLE system at yahoo.com. Quick timeout, more to come. Connection called Greatest Story. We're going to dive into that too as well. And of course, another performance from our friend Kayley Bishop here on the Backstage Pass. Stay tuned for a lot more.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
The Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
The Bangtail Pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here, Kayley Bishop on the show. KKTC True Country 99.9. Our friends out there too. And of course, our friends at HighTideCountry.net. Always the SportsGuysPodcast.com. I was just looking over my shoulder in the break. Yes, March Madness is in full swing. You love college basketball. That's like the place to be. Because I took a nap before the interview with Kayley today too. And I was actually watching the basketball. It was soothing. I liked it. It was good. It was just like one little upset with Duquesne beating BYU today too. I was going to ask you about that too, because when I get to hang out with you there, we've got to go to a Preds game. In fact, I mean, I love hockey. I don't watch it on TV. One, have you been? And two, is it like worth going? And can we go to a game next time I'm in town?
You buy me a ticket, I'll go anywhere.
I'll buy you a ticket. That's cool. I just want to go hang out and have a drink and just see hockey, because I love it in person. I went like maybe, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago and saw one in Dallas when I was down here in Texas. But they say the Preds games is like where to be. You know?
Yeah, honestly, there's nothing like a Preds game.
Okay.
And I'm talking across all sports. There's something really magnetic about being at Bridgestone for a Preds game. It's amazing. I've been a few times.
I love it too. So I got to get my first Preds game. I know hockey season. Let's see, June. Unless they're in the season, regular season, whatever. Maybe in the playoffs. You never know. But get back there in the fall too. We'll have to arrange something, or definitely next year for CRS 2025. Definitely, I'll be there too. I got to go back a little bit to some songs even last year before we talk more about the collaboration with you and Matt Jordan. One called "I'm on Fire," and I love this one too. Brought out the vocals very well. Beautiful storytelling in it. How did this one get started?
Well, this is a Bruce Springsteen cover.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went and actually released 3 different Bruce Springsteen covers, and I technically have 1 or 2 more in the canon to put out. I was doing that. It's just been really cool recreating those, and so that's a Bruce cover.
I like that one too. And then y'all transition into one called that I loved a lot listening to, "Empty Parts," and that's another one that makes you go on something there. I'm sure it's pretty personable to you, personable for you there. "Empty Parts" has a good story too.
Yeah, so that was actually about a dear friend of mine. She's kind of like a mother figure.
Mm-hmm.
She came to me and asked me to write her a song for her son's wedding for their mother-son dance, and which is a tricky thing because her ex-husband, she's got 11 children, and her ex-husband decided to choose a life of alcohol and abandon the family. And so that was an interesting thing. Like, what do I write with this? And she just looked at me and she said, "I just pray that my mother's heart will spill over into the empty parts their father left behind." And I was like, well, that sounds like the hook. So I was like, once I wiped my tears, I was like, okay, well, let's write this song. And so it's really a tribute to the single mom who is doing it alone. They were never meant to do it alone. Yeah. And, no matter what the reason is that the father is not in the picture, a mother is not meant to raise their children alone.
That's the truth. No doubt about it too. That's and I tell you too, I became a dad just about 3.5, 4 years. She's almost 4 now. It's you're right. It's just a special, there's a bond between a dad and a daughter. It's just something about it too. It's hard to explain. It puts a smile on my face just thinking about it too as well. And I love it. so much, because you're right. Not one parent is meant to. It's a tough job, but not one parent's meant to raise a child alone, no matter what the circumstances are, too.
Yeah.
And then, I loved, I think I told you that too. We were at the Toby Keith fundraiser there back on March 1st, Blue Eyed Baby. I thought that was something that I really took it, put it on my playlist, loved listening to it, shared it with a lot of friends out there too. How did this one kind of originate, this song called Blue Eyed Baby?
I was actually playing downtown Nashville, and a gentleman asked me to play some Everly Brothers. And I just remember going home with that on my head. And I was like, man, I want to write a song like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat down on a Sunday afternoon, and I was thinking about a pair of blue eyes, and it just fell out. And that was it.
I want to ask you about that too, because you write so many great songs. What is the Kayley Bishop process of songwriting? I mean, is it just those hooks, those ideas? What's your favorite part of songwriting in general?
The end, when you write a really good song. When you play, but when you record the work tape and you have tears in your eyes because you're like, oh my gosh, we got a good. That's my favorite part. Well, and then playing it for an audience, and people that have come up to me for Hold On Honey. Gosh, it's like every audience I played for, there's someone comes up with tears in their eyes. It's truly remarkable. But as far as my process, it's just doing it. We get in the way of using and exercising our gifts.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just sitting down and doing it, and but there's no really rhyme or reason. It's just, if I hear an idea, I'll put it down in my notes and I'll come back to it later. Or maybe I'll do it right then. And you got to strike while the iron is hot. That is one thing. You don't want to let that iron get cold. You do not.
No doubt about it too. I love it. And I love that. I was talking to a producer in Canada yesterday, friend Hill Corcuda's, talking about all the great projects she's done out there. She got nominated for a Juno Award coming up this weekend, with the Juno Awards coming up Sunday, which is kind of like our Grammys here too. She was walking me through not just the process of songwriting, but from a producer kind of perspective there too. She was looking at it and she said, the making of an album, the process from a producer to the artist, and just kind of seeing the process go through. And then kind of some of that same origination you talked about is that they can feel when it's authentic too for you. When you put your work out, how important is it to pick that key or the right producer for a song?
Oh, it's everything. And, this last project that I did, the one that Hold On Honey is the first single off this project I'm going to be releasing this year. And it's funny, I've worked with Elliot Blaufus quite a bit. He's done some production work for me, and I knew I wanted him on the project, but I was also feeling really, there's a gentleman named David Dorn, and I just felt so drawn to this guy. And it wasn't because I necessarily knew his entire catalog and knew what his skill set was. I was just like, I got to call this guy for some reason, and I knew it. So we met up, and I asked him if he'd be interested in co-producing, and he said sure. And so I put them together, and they'd never met, and it turned out to be the best thing. I kept telling them throughout the process, I was like, I'm the smartest person here because I put you two together. Always. And man, they just kicked it out of the park, man. They did such a good job.
They nailed this. This single is awesome. Like, I did hear the full record, man, the full track. It is.
It's awesome.
It's you got it almost like she's preaching toward the end, man. You're hitting some octaves and some notes up there too, going to a register that not a lot of people can go to. And I'm giving that to you as a compliment, because that is some serious upper register in your vocals. That is amazing. And they made it like it's like going to a good church and saying hallelujah, because this song really brings it to life. It really does. And the production is fantastic. It really is. So, and that's where the listeners were coming back to this morning. Like, where did you find her? I'm like, hey, man, we've been friends for 2 or 3 years now. And I said, she's a fantastic, fantastic artist too as well. I tell you what, let's have you play another one now. We'll talk about the collaboration with Matt, the song Greatest Story. We'll also touch on a beautiful one you put out called Indifferent there back in November of last year. So what's up? What are we going to hear?
Well, I could play Indifferent, but I was thinking about playing something different. And I don't have my capo, so I'm transposing in my head, but it should be okay. There's one that I recorded that's going to be coming out. I don't know if it'll be the next single or the one after, but it's called 7.
Okay.
And I actually wrote this about signing my divorce papers.
Wow. All right. There you go. Real life, man. Real life.
I'm going to give it to you, and forgive me if I mess up the chords. I'm like, I normally play it up the neck, but. One look, I was hooked on you. After 3 dates, after 2 dates, I swore I knew. 3 months in, we're right on track. You hit all the red flags behind your back. 4 years together, I had a ring. October 5th, I changed my name. By year 6, we were going through hell. I begged you for help. And did you know there's 7 days in a week? 7 hours is a good night of sleep. 7's supposed to be lucky. Lucky me, it only took 7 minutes. And 7 years were finished. I walked in at 12:01. By 12:08, it was all done. I watched your hand that used to hold mine sign your name on the dotted line. You stood up without a word. There were things to say, but there wasn't the nerve. You left the room and you never looked back. Ooh, and that was that. And did you know there's 7 days in a week? 7 hours is a good night of sleep. 7's supposed to be lucky. Lucky me, I never thought our 7 trips around the sun would take us from saying I do, you're the one, to I can't and we're done. It only took 7 minutes and 7 years were finished. Ooh. And did you know there's 7 days in a week? 7 hours is a good night of sleep. 7's supposed to be lucky. Lucky me, it only took 7 minutes. It only took 7 minutes. Oh, it only took 7 minutes. And 7 years were finished.
You make me smile every time you come on and play some music. It makes me smile. We'll just put it that way. Just there's stories that hard to explain. I haven't been through some of this, but I can tell you this. I know people that have. We all know people that have. And man, you just right from the core. If it doesn't hit you right there and grab you, I can't help you. I guess we're out of answers there too. Great music out there. Hold On Honey, the first of this beautiful project coming up on a full-length album from Kayley Bishop. And check out KayleyBishop.com for all the latest tour dates, information, and I'm sure there's some merchandise there. So just go grab it. You know you want to. Just go do it. I mean, help out.
Go get some merch.
Get some merch out there while you're at it. All right, so Matt told me he saw the promo photo of you coming on today, and what ironic it was, like perfect timing with this beautiful song I got to listen to called Greatest Story. Then you look at it, you're like, yeah, great collaboration. He told how you guys met for this too, but I wanted to get your take on it too as well. 2 sides to a story, and what a great song you guys got to collaborate on.
Yeah, we had a mutual friend, and he was actually a songwriter on the song, and he reached out to me. His name is Jarrett, and he's like, Kayley, do you think you'd be interested in doing a duet with my buddy Matt? And I looked him up, and I was like, okay, who is this guy? Let's see. And but I went to his profile and I was listening to his voice, and I was like, he's got a really cool, like smoky, burly voice. It's awesome. It's like the kind of voice, if you could pair a voice with a cigar shop, it's probably that. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but he's just got this really cool timbre, and he's a family man. He's a really good guy, and there's a Bible verse. It's like, I will not let crooked people in my house.
Mhm.
And that's kind of been my thing, like thinking about who do I want to have an alignment with? Who am I going to allow in my vehicle as I'm going out into the world? And he's just wonderful. He's a really wonderful guy. And I'm happy to have that alignment with him. And I think the song sounds great. I met him in the studio when I went to go cut the vocal. And I was listening to the track. I was like, man, this sounds like the Police, like 80s, like rock. Like this is
Mhm.
what it sounds like to me. And I was like, let's do it.
Let's roll the dice and get it done. Got to touch on Indifferent because that was the last one, for November of last year too, which I
Yeah.
love that one too. Before the collaboration of Greatest Stories, tell us all about that one.
Yeah. So that idea actually came to life during COVID. It was first presented to me in January of 2020, right before the lockdown. I was doing a show where you write a song on stage with other writers with the audience. And my friend Chelsea was there in the audience, and she raised her hand. She's like, I got this idea. What if we do Indifferent? And all of us on stage looked at each other and were like, can we actually get your number and write that at another time? Like, we actually want to make good on that. And so
Mhm.
we finally followed up and started it on Zoom and wrote that with Dave Fenley, Blue Foley, and Chelsea Stallings. And it's all about the flat line of a relationship. I always say that if you're angry in your relationship, you at least have a pulse. It's
Mhm.
when you don't feel anything that something is dying.
Yeah.
And I have been there, and I think a lot of other people have been there when you just don't feel anything anymore. And it's really sad when you get to that part, but that's really the death toll right there. Death
Mhm.
knell, I guess, when you hear that.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
that's kind of where that came from.
I love it too. Let me ask you about this. Any plans for Hold On Honey, a music video, perhaps?
That's right. There's one
Ooh.
coming. It's coming very, very soon, like
All right.
maybe next week. We'll see. But
All right.
I just did an awesome interview with People Magazine. They're highlighting it and should be sharing some news about that on Friday. But I was able to shoot the music video at Recovery Church Nashville, which is kind of a bridge between AA and traditional church. There's a lot of people that go through AA that don't feel comfortable walking into the doors
Mhm.
of the church because they're really ashamed of their addiction. And so this is a really safe place for those that are coming out of addiction and walking into sobriety to not only have discipleship, but also to have like furthered accountability systems. And so it's a really remarkable organization. And I was able to link up with them, film it there. And the cool thing about Recovery Church Nashville, like their location here in Nashville, is actually Tammy Wynette's old house
Ooh.
and Hank Williams. They both lived in this property, and now it's Recovery Church. And we filmed it there. There are people from Recovery Church in the music video
Mhm.
sharing their testimony. And it brings tears to my eyes. When I saw the video for the first time, I just wept in my car. It's very, very special.
Can't wait to see it too. You share the information with me. We'll put it on all our stuff out there too. So people can check out a great music video, which is out there too. All right. I got to have a little fun with you and just enjoy this because it's just one of my staples of what I do here on the show, this little rapid fire thing. So no right or wrong answers, just a little series of questions that go out there, and the audience, especially the market out there in Taos, New Mexico and up in Colorado, gets to know you more on the personal side. All right. Favorite shows to binge watch. I know for me, there's a few things going on right now. This Deal or No Deal Island, things like that, reality TV. What do you like to watch?
Parks and Rec,
All right.
The
Okay.
Office. Those two are probably my binges.
That's the Benjis right there too. Yeah, this Island Deal or No Deal, it's a pretty serious stuff compared to the way the old show was with Howie Mandel. So this is getting into some serious. You haven't caught a piece of that, have you? It's wild. I'm telling you. Still play the original game, but man, seeing snakes involved with it and different
What?
animals on an island and the yacht from the banker and the way the phone rings and a cast like I'll say one guy was a guy named Rob had been on Survivor, so he just loves these reality shows and jumping into them. But
Yeah.
it's a team thing, and they're making it very even more creative than the first original one that was on NBC or whatever that is out there too. I'm getting into some of these reality shows that I'm kind of more and more as I discover great talent, American Idol, The Voice, things like that too. Give me some thoughts on, is that something you get into, or is that something that you kind of gravitate to, pay attention to a little bit? And are you for those type of competitions?
I mean, I did The Voice in 2018, and I still only watched my 2 episodes from my season. I don't really follow along. I know that sounds terrible. I'll see some of the clips on Instagram. I have a ton of friends that have done all of those franchises, and even still, like, there's a lot of people that I know that are on this season of American Idol and this season of The Voice. But I just, like, I don't know. I'm just like, it doesn't really get me.
It's just more of that TV. It just pulls it in. I just find it interesting too. But I remember you telling me, 2018 was that particular season of the Voice too. All right, food wise, where do we have to? I got to go eat with you at a different place in Nashville when I'm there for CMA Fest. We got to go eat somewhere. I didn't get a chance to. I finally did Hattie B's. Somebody pulled me into that and said, "Hey, we got to go here and do that." So that's check that box. But I know there's other Italian places, or you know what? Just give me a favorite restaurant and we'll go eat, me and you.
I love the chicken tenders at the local.
Okay.
They're
I've
really
not been there. I need to go there with you.
Oh, they like it's a venue, but it's a bar, but it's like the best bar food you'll find. It's so good. Like there's nothing frozen. It's all fresh. And so
Okay.
go there. The burgers are fantastic. The salmon, they have salmon. It's so good. I love the local, and it's good for your budget too. But I will say I had the best, I think it might have been one of the best steaks of my life recently. And I go to J. Alexander's every year for my birthday. I'm such a nugget, and it's a franchise, but it's so good. Like the
It's good.
food
Yeah.
is so good. And I got myself the ribeye that they have on their menu. And I'm telling you, like every bite, I was like, I was like, let's go. It was so
I love it. I love it. We'll have to go. I've been to the one down here in Texas. We'll have to go check it out. Like I said, up there too, because I definitely want a good steak. Somebody pulled me out to Smyrna, however you say that, Tennessee, out that way, and we went to what cafe was that? It was a little place out there, and I'm trying to remember the name of it too. But it was like a steakhouse, very affordable. He had gotten a ribeye too, and I can't think of it out there. But it's a steakhouse. I'll have to just let you know what the name of it was. I can't think of it right offhand. But it was a nice little steakhouse. Had a little menu for everything, almost like a Longhorn Steakhouse type thing. But it was just really good there too. And I got to get some Thai food. I want some Thai food because I love Thai food.
Oh yeah,
the
Smiling Elephant is known for really good Thai in Nashville. I've been there a couple times. We're good.
Gotta check that one out too. All right, so we gotta, when I see you at CMA Fest, we gotta definitely talk some business and then go out there and have a good meal. That's just always something I look forward to doing. If you want to go eat, we'll definitely make that an appointment too as well. We got to do that, no doubt. All right, if you were not a musician, what else would Kayley Bishop be doing as an occupation?
I don't know. I'd probably be working with a contractor. I like to build things. I like making things tangible. Like I like looking back at the work I did and be like, wow, I did that today. There's something really cool about building things, doing DIY stuff. I remember right before I went on The Voice, I got a little sidetracked career wise, and I started like DIYing my whole house and bought all these different power tools, and I've like since walked away because I can't really live both lives. So, but I think that would be really fun. And then I always have loved foreign language. I'd want to be a linguist, and I'm not necessarily even fluent in another language, but I was always really good at Spanish. And gosh, I want to immerse myself. And I think it's just because I like people and I like being able to communicate. So doing something
that too.
like that.
Love it. People person. Nothing wrong with that. Favorite cartoon growing up, and in conjunction with that, favorite flavors, because I know there's more than one. Flavors of ice cream with the S.
Gosh, when I was a kid, my dad would plant me in front of the TV with the Tostitos watching Rugrats. Like that was
That's a good one. I like how you clarified. Tostitos have to be in there with Rugrats.
Yeah, it was like one of those, and it was only on back then. I was probably like 7 or 6, 8. My mom was working at the YMCA.
Okay.
And so she was at working nights at that time, and my dad. I just remember that time in my life. It was very brief, but we would, frozen pizza. Come on, Dad.
Come on, Dad.
It's either that or Beanie Weenies.
And then flavors of ice cream for you, because I know there's got to be more than one.
Oh gosh. Okay. There is brown butter almond brittle is probably the best ice cream I've ever had, and it's at Jenny's.
I've heard about Jenny's. Yeah, I just didn't get over there this time. See, they just keep adding.
It's
to
kind
the
of
list
because like you only get like really small little scoops, but the scoops are so rich you don't want big ones. Like it's so good.
That's good stuff. So you're painting that picture, making me hungry tonight too, which is good. And definitely see ice cream, steak, something else, Thai food. It's gonna be a good trip up there. for CMA Fest. I tell you what, you got one more for us. You want to play one more before we get out of here?
Oh shoot. I guess. Oh well, yeah. Let's.
All right.
I'll give you. How about it? I'll give you a verse and a chorus of Indifferent because it's
All right.
out. Everybody can go listen to that. But
Sure.
you never say you're sorry. I never think of asking anymore. Our loving turned to fighting, turned. We're not even talking anymore. Tell me why we had to lose our way, my love. Don't wanna lie or deny the truth I see in us. It's like we're sitting here in different rooms, in different beds, in different places in our hearts, in different places in our heads. The only thing that hurts me worse than feeling lonely or distant is indifferent. So yeah, there's a little verse and chorus, a little tease. You gotta go listen to it.
Look at that. I love it.
Spotify now.
Go to Spotify, give her a like across all the social media too out there if you haven't already. And then Hold On Honey is what it says. Hold on, because there's more to come with that full debut length album out there too. The first single off the full project coming out this year at some point in 2024. Hey, great to reconnect.
Thanks,
at CRS. I appreciate you so much all the time for coming on here too. You always got a welcome spot, open invitation here to come back and talk about your music and play a little something for us. I will see you at CMA Fest June 7th to 9th. Always appreciate you coming on. Check out KayleyBishop.com and go stream all the songs today you heard about on Spotify, Apple Music, all the stuff out there, and stream the new single, Hold On Honey. Always appreciate the time. Looking forward to it again, my friend, and just fantastic work all the way around.
Thank you.
Just one of the best out there, KayleyBishop.com and Hold On Honey, the current single. We're back tomorrow. Olivia rocks. Speaking of American Idol, she's just killing it out there too as well. And our good friend Jennifer Hart going to wrap up the week here and get into the weekend. There you go.
Girl.
That's your girl. She reached out to me to say hello, and she told me to say hi to you too as well. So there you go.
Oh, I love my Jenny.
Jenny is fantastic. Some new things. Loveless, I believe, is a song she's got out right now too, which is fantastic for her. So
Loveless.
she's got some good stuff out there. Love her. And of course, next week, more good stuff coming up. Due West, Brady Seals, formerly of Little Texas, will be dropping by. And man, I forgot half of what I've got to coming up over the next few weeks as we get into April coming up. Again, if you missed Brantley Gilbert, it was there a couple of weeks ago. It's at the sportsguyspodcast.com. Of course, KKTC True Country 99.9. And our friends at hightidecountry.net will be seeing Brantley in concert in May, and a whole lot more great connections to do. That's what we do here at the Backstage Pass. We'll see you guys soon. Take care and God bless. And more shows coming up tomorrow. Take care.